Welcome to the Smash Zone podcast, where we get in the zone and play Smash Brothers while talking everything and anything about the game. I'm your host, Evan.
And I'm your co-host, Josh. On today's episode, we'll be discussing Pyra and Mythra's inclusion to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and the 11.0.0 patch notes.
Before we get into our topics today, Josh and I feel that we should explain the whole purpose of this podcast. We're just two friends who play just way too much Smash. I mean, we pretty much get on Smash calls and talk Smash galore for hours. And so for our, I'm ruining all of that. Okay, I'm going to cut it at where you say 11.0 patch notes. Let me read this again. I'm reading off script.
Okay. It's fine.
Before we get into our topics hold on. We'll restart there. Before we get into our topics today, Josh and I feel that we should explain the whole purpose of this podcast. We are two friends who play just way too much Smash and enjoy talking about it. When playing Smash, we really get in the zone and just talk for hours and hours and hours. And that's how the Smash Zone podcast came to be.
Exactly. And please bear with us because we'll be trying to be podcasters while playing Smash and loosely commentating our own gameplay. So for our listeners who listen to us on YouTube, enjoy us playing Smash, but for our purely audible listeners, enjoy roughly an hour of us talking Smash galore. We do plan on talking about Pyra and Mythra and the patch notes, but first we should tell you about us as players. Evan, go right on ahead.
Okay, well, obviously, my name is Evan. I play Piranha Plant. I secondary Terry. I play a little bit of Sephiroth. I play a lot of characters, as we'll go on to see, but primarily Plant Gang.
Plant Gang for life, man.
Yeah, Plant Gang for life. My gamer tag is Gray.
Mm-hmm.
So I go by Gray on all my games I play. And that's all you need to know. We have a tournament series called Gray's Gauntlet off of my Discord called Gray's Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
And in our Discord we have this Gray's Gauntlet tournament series for Smash Brothers.
We play amongst our friends, you know.
We play amongst our friends. It's like 15 guys typically, and we typically are getting destroyed by our good friend Joe. But every once in a while, I think I've won like maybe 5 or 6 tournaments. Yeah. Out of what we've been doing this since April of 2020. This has been our quarantine project.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's a fun time. It's a fun time for sure.
Josh, I want to hear what you're going to say.
All right. Well, I play Wii Fit Trainer. That's my main. And then, the good old King Dedede is my secondary, and Banjo and Kazooie is one of my pockets. Also Ridley and kind of sort of Min, but I got to put some more work into Min. But I think you got my play style just from the characters I just listed off.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I play Plant, which is camp galore.
Yeah.
But at least I play some Terry and some Sephiroth.
You're a very all-around player. I will say that.
Yeah, I like to play a lot of play styles, but I'm probably the best by a long shot with Plant. Josh is Camping McGee over here.
Yeah.
But we have a saying that camping is truly an art form, and you can't be mad when you're winning.
It's projectile characters and just knowing your projectiles, how to use them, using them at all angles as possible. Man.
Honestly, I'd rather play a projectile character than a good Pikachu, like all day.
True. Okay, well, let's show you guys what this podcast is all about. Let's hop into a game and talk while playing Smash, getting into the zone. Hopefully we get into the zone.
I know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, these are our first matches of the day, so you get to watch how bad we are. For our people who are listening through whatever
again, we're not
service they use.
We're not pro players, and we're not.
Yeah,
we consider ourselves competitive, but like, he almost down-aired me into the abyss.
Into the oblivion.
By the way, we do both prefer Final Destination as like one of our favorite stages.
This is one of our favorite stages. We also want to mention that a lot of this podcast is inspired by one of my favorite pro players, Tweek. Tweek is a incredible player, and he's been top 5 for years in multiple Smash games. So he's just an overall. He's currently the best Diddy in the world.
Yeah.
He used to play Wario before
we'll
he
talk about
dropped
that.
him.
We'll talk about that. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But he recently started a podcast. Oh no! There goes. There's our lag. I'll cut.
We got the
old lag.
Terrible little logo of justice in the bottom right corner.
Oh yeah.
And if you guys are hearing our controllers whacking out and
yeah, it's probably
pressing our buttons rapidly. You guys know how it is.
Yeah, it's the gamer noise. We should mention, like, Tweeks' podcast is obviously from the perspective of Tweek and him being a pro player, and 2 other guys who are also very talented pro players, and so we are not by any means pro players, purely nope. Amateurs, but we do have a couple 100 hours in this game, and we have pretty decent skill. So we're gonna give you a very specific.
It's pretty much just a podcast where 2 guys talk. We'll have other people on, but
we look forward to having other guest hosts on, and I'm excited for hopefully our next week's guest host, but I won't spoil that quite yet. You
guys gotta have to wait for that one.
I know, it's gonna be good. We're gonna give you a casual perspective, in a sense, not in the terms of we're casual players and we like to play strictly with items and stuff. There's nothing wrong with items, but we definitely prefer a good old one-on-one type of match. But we are going to give you a perspective that isn't pro, but it is definitely, we want to make the content that we wish we could have had when we were first learning this game. So
I just died.
And as you can see, we're Edgeguard Lords. Basically, do our character be playing Plant, one of the best Edgeguarders in the game. But that's the only thing he's got.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of Patuis and soccer balls going all around.
Yep, yeah. And then
you're not missing out on anything if you're just listening to audio.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So that's pretty much us as players. I think we should, Josh. You want to talk about, like, why do you love Smash? Like, on a fundamental level, what got you into Smash? Why love it as much as you do now? And once you're done, I'll say something too.
Okay. Well, Smash is a compilation of a ton of video games, right? But at the same time, it's just fun. I can play, especially for Smash Ultimate, I could play a character like Leaf Trainer and win. It's not, I can beat a ton of guys that are warriors, and I'm just using a yoga person to win games. There's always just this fun, there's a lot of just fun
Fire Emblem.
Yeah, a fun mix of characters that are cartoony, that have a sword, that are anime. Oh, what? Well, you just up smashed me.
There you
go. Good game, by the way. Okay,
good game.
Yeah, that's why I love Smash, and specifically Smash Ultimate, with a large cast, a wide variety, and also since the meta is pretty even and balanced, any character can shine. What do you think, Evan?
Exactly. I started back in Smash 4, and I was somehow a kid that was tricked into selling his Xbox and his Wii and his PlayStation 3 to buy a Wii U, the most disappointing console on the planet.
You had some fun experiences.
Yeah, 3D World is like one of the greatest games, I think, to come out of of the Wii U, and that was like one of my highlights. I sadly had to been graced with the tragedy that I didn't understand was so bad at the time of Star Fox Zero, but that's maybe we'll talk about some other time. But I got Smash Ultimate. It actually came with the bundle. It was Splatoon. Splatoon had just come out, and Smash 4. Nice. And I got the Wii U bundle, and that was like I got it around like Black Friday because I think there was a deal on it or something. And I played. I actually probably couldn't even tell you what an aerial was before. I back in Smash 4, I didn't play very much. Yep. I thought it was really hard too. Like I was like, this game's so hard. Why isn't anybody like it? And then I got a Switch. Smash Ultimate came out. Actually, I got a Switch for Smash Ultimate because I remember playing. I mean, I had a good time. Always did with the other game, but it was like one of those things where the hype of what Smash Ultimate was bringing to the community just pulled me in. I was sucked in.
Yeah.
As soon as you see Splatoon sees the the Smash Ball.
That was actually the first moment where I kind of dipped into the Smash community. Watching all the directs after that. Yeah, there was a lot of hype, and still is a lot of hype surrounding this game.
Yeah, I agree, and I think we definitely from there it was like E3 reveal. The hype was huge, and I basically pre-ordered the game 2 months in advance out of pure excitement. Actually, I think what got me really hooked on getting a Switch and probably eventually got me really hooked on getting Smash was a little YouTube channel called Switch Force, which primarily
I watch those guys.
Animal Crossing. Yeah, Gabe and Zach were instrumental in me buying my Switch, and then through them I watched a Nintendo Direct, and I think I probably happened to watch the one where they announced Smash Ultimate coming to Switch, and that was huge, and I definitely had already had a little bit of knowledge from Smash 4, and then from there it's now become like I play because my friends play. I play because I love the game. I also obviously Plant has become a passion of mine, considering the fact that Plant is a at best mid-tier character.
Yeah, he has an amiibo he's also very proud of.
I have my amiibo Karen. Well, we have to have an episode just strictly about amiibos and Karen.
Karen is his prized possession amiibo, Plant amiibo.
Is my prized Plant amiibo. That is just incredible. And then from there I started this tournament series that I hosted back in April.
Mm-hmm.
And April 2nd was our first day. We're looking forward to our first anniversary. April 2nd, 2020. During the beginning of quarantine, we had nothing better to do, and me and a bunch of our friends started this tournament series, and then just have every Sunday since then almost basically been playing in this tournament series. And in the drive and the competitiveness of what this game brings is what led me to want to love this game so much. I feel, and then obviously the progression. Like I would record games on my Elgato back in May and April in the summertime, and man, I sucked at the game. Holy crap! And now seeing how much farther I've come since then drives me to keep wanting to play. And I think that's my driving factor, and that's why I think I love this game so much. And obviously every DLC character just brings this wave of excitement.
And discussion.
That you can't, not
exactly.
Discussion. I was really into leaks for a while, and I recently have I just kind of become tired of it because it is kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
But I watch a lot of Smash YouTube where they I'm always wanting to learn. To me it's learning the game on a fundamental level that interests me.
It's a fun hobby,
an extreme degree.
Yeah, so
it is.
So it's good to think about your Smash journey. Whether you just like the game and you play it at a friend's house, or you play in local tournaments.
Yeah, and we want this podcast to appeal to all of those audiences, because there's obviously going to be people. We're going to have episodes where we talk a little bit more from a competitive standpoint. We're also going to have episodes where we talk from a little bit more of a casual standpoint, from just the person that wants to play at home with their brother, or wants to be the Jimmy McTimmy, as I call it, that plays on quick play with Jimmy McTimmy number 2.
That just played the demo at Best Buy.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of ground we can.
Back throw kill.
And just like that, for our YouTube listeners, we are we're playing some best of 3s. I won game 1 with Piranha Plant. Josh has won game 2 with Wii Fit Trainer.
Let's see who wins this one.
I won game 1 with a nice juicy up smash. He won with a nice 200% back throw.
Yeah, it's hard for us to die. I don't know why. We just don't die. We just can't. We just can't take stocks from each other either. We're very even.
Do you get a stats buff when you have deep breathing on? Do you become heavier when you have? Because I know Cloud becomes heavier when he gets.
I don't know. I should know this, but I just don't know. I would guess no, but
yeah. I mean, well, I'm right below a super heavy, so
Plant being the secret heavy.
Yeah, it helps. It's pretty huge for the character. It's definitely a good bonus.
Oh, when I miss a ball combo.
I guess we should just go ahead and. I know. It sucks. I guess we should just go ahead and get into our what we have planned for our topics today. Obviously, we recently, as of the beginning of March, we're recording this on the 15th of March, but we've basically had a couple of days with Pyra and Mythra, the newest DLC character. And that was announced at the February Direct in this strange way. You can't tell if this is like Xenoblade 2 DLC. Is this Xenoblade 2? Is this a Xenoblade 3? And then you find out. Oh wait, no.
Yeah.
Pyra.
Just for Smash.
Smash, and it's Pyra and Mythra. Mythra. I guess if you're a Xenoblade fan, that's huge. I don't think Josh and I I know Josh isn't. I'm not an RPG fan.
Kind of, sort of, if you want to count Pokemon.
I'm not a fan of.
But
okay,
I'm
not a big fan of RPGs, but I know we're not fans of Xenoblade for sure. But I know I am just excited for a new character.
Yeah,
always. Fresh blood. To me, it develops the meta all the time. Anything new, every buff and nerf, it changes the way the game is played, and I think Pyra and Mythra very much probably changed the way the game is played the most since Joker.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
oh no,
and so we recently just
I almost died.
Got these characters, and we like them. I'll go ahead and say that. That's not a spoiler. I like them.
Yeah. I like them, but I'm not going to play them because my play style just from the characters I listed off that I play.
Yeah, they're not Josh's thing, but I dig it. I dig Mythra, which is funny because the current Smash community's opinions on these characters are I feel they have changed significantly. Where I don't know. I want to say people were thinking Mythra was the sauce, and now it's seeming like people think Pyra's the sauce.
So let's get into let's get into what I think about them.
Yeah, Josh, give me your initial thoughts. After this next game, we're gonna play some Pyra and Mythra doubles.
Maybe another best 2 out of 3,
and you can see a little bit of gameplay.
Okay, so of course, initially I thought, Mythra is the better option. And what everybody likes to point out is that she's fast and very combo heavy and very pressure heavy. Because whenever I'm up in the air against a Mythra, I get so scared because I'm like, what do I do? I can air dodge.
You may not die. Yeah, you may not die.
She can get to me very fast.
Ladder.
You know? And it's the first character that makes me feel legitimately scared on, like, the second week of their, inclusion, right? When I see them online. That didn't happen for any of the other DLCs. I was just like, oh, okay, this easy GSP. But this go round, it's like, man, Mythra can just, ladder me, and Pyra can up B me, and I just die. So, as far as how I feel with people wanting to, almost solely just play Mythra, I just don't agree. Yes, she's a better character. Wait.
Oh, wow. The unfortunate SD.
I thought I had another stock. All right, so Evan wins that best 2 out of 3. Wins with his main. Okay, well, when people talk about Mythra and how you can just play Mythra 99% of the time, I don't agree with that. Of course, it depends on your play style, whether or not you're going to play Pyra more or whether or not you're going to play Mythra more. But you've got to use them. I'd say you got to both use them. Of course, you can solo play Mythra, and I know people will be good at that. But after watching some of MK Leo's performances, I'm kind of thinking, hey, this character is very half and half. You got to rack up damage, of course, with Mythra and kill with Pyra, but MK Leo played Pyra like 70% of the time, and he had some good performance with that. So I think they're both really good characters. But I don't think we should be looking at them as separate characters. We got to look at them as the same, Oh.
And just like that,
XD,
or ISD, I get the stock though. So obviously, and we won't be playing 100%. I might be showing moves at points during this for our listeners who are watching us on YouTube. And I will say that's where we recommend watching us. For the sake of you do get to see what we are talking about a little bit more. But we also
pro gameplay by watching us both
where you like
at the same time. Right at the stop.
Yes, very pro gameplay. And Josh,
I don't play this character
because this character's too fast for him. This character's way too fast. So I want to Josh, any last thoughts you want to talk about for these characters?
I like. Okay, well, what Evan just did was he's foresighted me, and I think that's the main thing that will change. That will make them definite top tiers for me. Maybe it's because of that foresight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw my opinions out there. I think this character is very good. I think this character has a few blatant weaknesses. But if when you're evaluating a character on if you should play them or not, a massive thing that needs to be discussed is, well, one, how much do you enjoy playing them? You have to have an enjoyment of playing this character. But two is the viability. I mean, people make it playing Little Mac. People make it playing Plant like I do, and Ganondorf, and there is pro players that do all these things. But you obviously, when discussing really, I mean, if you want to be a true competitive player to play in a pro series, you gotta understand the viability of a character, and what is their advantages, what is their massive weaknesses typically. This game is nice in the fact that, unlike other games where you very much all characters are very balanced in this game, and so
everyone, by the way,
most characters most characters are very balanced in this game. Like, for the most part, I don't think there's there's some that are like, I think for Little Mac to truly get who definitely, I mean, I'm just gonna say this, is the worst character in the game. For Little Mac to be able to be viable, in my opinion, you have to change the like fundamentals of the character. So I don't think there's a way to patch him to be good enough. But for the most part, every character in this game is truly a viable character. Some are more than others, and this character very specifically, I think has a high viability options. I'll break it down in a couple parts. So, like, obviously, I think the first thing to talk about is Mythra. Mythra is very fast. I mean, as you can see for the people who are watching this on YouTube, all of her moves are like, just they're incredibly fast. You have massive burst options like side B. You have massive burst options like dash attack, and then as soon as she's in a, it was Josh, and I'll let you get into let me get you into a disadvantage, like right here. Like if you're above me, like look at how fast this up air is. Hold on, Josh. Look at how fast this up air is, and that down air, and the fair. Oh, that's your back air. That's your fair. That's your back air. That's your dare. That's your nair. That nair is, I mean, this is just a little bit worse in my opinion than Palutena's nair, which is probably the best nair in the game. And I think a lot of people have likened this character to like melee fox speed with some of the characteristics of like Brawl Meta Knight, where it's very fast. You have disjoints with the swords, but obviously there's some major disadvantages to Mythra. One being she like doesn't do damage. Like she's like Sheik, very much Sheik damage, where it's like I hit you 20 times.
So yeah, that's where
40%
Pyra comes in.
In comparison,
so that's what makes them good to me.
Yeah, in comparison for. Exactly. I think, like, Pyra, you hit them 3 times and they're at kill percent or dead. So, there's, the other big weakness for Pyra and Mythra is their recovery. Obviously being, it's not great. It's not... Mythra's is definitely the better one in terms of recovery. Killing I've seen some nasty stuff done with Pyra and in her ability to kill, but they're good characters. Like I definitely think they're good characters. Pyra, on the other hand, like I think Pyra is very good, in the sake of she's like slightly faster
and
than
he
Adora.
Just down, like a insane down air
like that with down air. Yeah, so her down air is like pretty much larger than Ivysaur's. Like it's huge, and she massive killing options. But her moves are automatically significantly slower. And she's just like she's an all power. With a lot of other, I think she has the most amount of disadvantages comparatively with the two of them. Her recovery is definitely worse. She's very slow in the air, very slower moves, more lag on a lot of moves. Her side B is probably the one that is most notable for her best special.
I'd say her up special is her best,
and mostly because I think people have found
like if I
really
spam it. Okay, well if that connected. Maybe you would have died. And her forward smash is good. It's fast.
To me, but
and he just killed.
Yeah, I think that's where we're also like we gotta talk about is his F smash. This F smash is busted. It is very difficult. I mean, you have to have a hard read, like I did, or they have to be in a shield break situation, or they air dodged, and you know, it's all going to depend on hard reads, but it's very tough, like tough to land it because of how slow it is, how much in lag there is. If you miss it, you're getting punished, like guaranteed. Especially if your opponent, if you're playing in the Mythra Pyra dittos, and if they're playing Mythra, you're getting damaged like instantly, and I think, you know, Pyra is good. Like, I don't think Pyra. I think Pyra is a high mid tier at a solo. If you look at her solely, which I think that's a word, but if you look at her just alone, she is I think high mid tier.
Interesting.
Mythra, I would say, is probably low high tier, if not like mid high tier. But the nice part is, and this is their down B move, is they're a swap character like Zelda and Sheik back in Melee.
No. Well, I mean...
Oh, did I save you? No, I died for it.
He tried to up B me off stage. Like, really deep off stage. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing. You can't really go off deep with this character. The move that I will say everybody is saying is... my favorite way that somebody's put this is the DLC of DLC, like, moves.
Yeah.
Mythra has Foresight, which is basically Bats Within. Bayonetta's Bats Within on her air dodge, and you air dodge right at the perfect time, which
neither of us are
good enough to
especially me with this character
on command. Yeah, and we're only like 12 days into this character.
But the pros have
it's been like a week and some change.
So
the pros have seen some good results. I don't think this is so far. I mean, we're, like I said, very early into this character. Nobody's won a tournament, an offline tournament with this character, and I actually don't think this character Mythra is, for the most part. I think most pro players are going to be playing a lot of Mythra and Pyra, or a lot of Mythra, and then come in as Pyra. I mean, I guess there's people that are saying that they don't feel the same, but the general masses, in my opinion, will be end up playing. That down air is crazy. I think the majority are going to be playing more Mythra than Pyra, but
again, look at what
I don't know.
MKLeo did. I'm just saying
this character to combine
that could just be online.
True.
Lock. I die.
And just like that, I win. Good game. I don't know. I feel like this character combined has the potential to be a top 5 character.
All right, so
I don't think I'd say she's a top 5
like
character
right now. Where do you think they fit on tier list?
Low mid top tier.
Really?
I think they're a low mid top tier character. And the reasons being, because my top tier is like 15.
I'd say so for me,
like probably 15
myself.
Because this character, obviously, it's a lot of characters are good. Now, I'll say this: Joker, Pikachu, and Palutena are my top 3 in this game, and I think even with, well, spoiler alert, the nerfs that Palutena gets, which I honestly think they obviously are going to change her game, but it's not going to be too big in my opinion. But I think Joker and Pikachu especially are a mile above where most characters sit. Like, these characters are busted, really busted, and they're not Bayonetta cloud busted. Like, I don't think we're ever gonna see I don't ever think we're ever gonna see a Smash 4
If they do,
or
if
even
that
Meta
happens,
Knight in
they'll
Ice Climbers busted
they'll
levels.
nerf them immediately,
But
maybe.
though it would be quick before when they nerf, and
Yeah.
so far they haven't released any characters that ever felt that way. The only we've had some points where there was like, man, this character is really good. Like it's probably the best character in the game. Being, I think Pichu was like just insane at launch of the game, specifically being down tilt. That move was crazy, but I think my top tier is 15 characters. I think this sits probably at like 12, maybe number 12. Like I have to look at it. I'd have to make one, like a true one, to be able to tell you exactly. And I think my opinion's going to change as the month goes on and into April and May. But I don't know. If you guys want us to do an episode where we literally break down every single character's move, like, or specifically Pyra and Mythra's moves down to the T, we kind of discussed a little bit of them, at least the good ones. And we didn't discuss everything. There's like Pyra's neutral B is honestly massive.
In case you guys
very good.
Didn't tell, I'm bad.
Yeah,
yeah. Just to reiterate that one again.
There you go. There's some foresight for you, and that just So how it works is you take half the damage from the move that you are basically rolling or neutral air dodging through, and then it puts them in a state of slow-mo almost like your almost like the slow-mo item,
right?
The clock that you can play, and it puts them in it for like maybe a second less. I think probably less, but it's just enough basically slow-mo for them that you have enough time to punish. You don't have enough time to change to Pyra and then F smash them, but you do have enough time to probably get a nice F smash or a dash attack, or there's plenty of things you can get with a good foresight, and that's the move that I think is gonna break the meta for this character. Like that will open the floodgates of what's gonna be huge. We've seen it. Like, I think projectile characters automatically lose against this character, which is funny because most projectile characters automatically win against most sorties, considering a lack of range that a sortie has. Even though most sword characters are good for their disjoints and
wait, maybe
spacing.
I should use side B. I just realized that to recover. I mean, I know this, but then I forget things.
Mythra obviously has more options.
I don't know why I asked acted surprised when you said mid top tier, because that's probably where I'd put them as well. I agree, but with a lot of the things you said, but let's try to view these, to me at least, that these characters are one that, like, you have to use both of them, and they both complement each other. And for that reason, that's why I think they're top tier.
I like Pokemon Trainer is a top tier character in my opinion, and if not the top of high tier. If somebody wanted to make the argument
because
that
you can
top tier,
mess up your opponents by
high tier
switching play styles.
Yeah, you have 3 different playstyles in your hands. In this character, you have 2 different playstyles, but their playstyles are a little bit more flushed out. Whereas, like, Pokemon Trainers you have fast combo character, mid-range character, and then big beef boy just hits. That's big beef boy, big beef the Zardwalk, and you get, I think it's just very. The 3 of them are all very different, but I don't think they're quite as unique as Pyra and Mythra as a duo instead of Pokemon Trainers trio setup they have. overall, I mean, these characters are awesome. I have fun with them. The speed of Pyra is exactly what I've been
And your
looking
little
for in
lineup,
my arsenal of
little
characters.
rogues gallery.
In my lineup, Plant's slow. Sephiroth he's not slow, but he's not what I'd call fast. He's too light, but I like him. I mean, I think Cloud is kind of where I like Cloud, but Pyra and Mythra may take their spot. Might take his spot. And you're saying
yeah, same as you.
Mid
Same as you.
top tier. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the character. I mean,
No.
you just can't look at them individually because
I know.
Why would you? I mean, a good. I think for realistically, and I say this and also preface this by tier lists are not gospel. Pro players tier lists are not gospel, and honestly, if you're playing like us at a casual standpoint, they're not very useful because it's just a lot of times tier lists.
Yeah, and it's also
it can be subjective.
It doesn't necessarily mean, of course, that the character is easy or anything, or it's just from a pro player standpoint that has a deep understanding of the game. Is this character gonna make me feel confident during a tournament? You know, am I gonna get some wins in?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. These characters to win a mainline tournament, Evo or something, which it's something along those lines. I think you have to be a skilled Pyra and Mythra player. No, right. I don't think just a Pyra will ever win, or just a Mythra will ever win. I think it's about Sakurai obviously designed them to be. One of them is very bad at this. The other one is very good at what they're bad at. So
yeah,
they're equal, yin and yang kind of style characters. Okay, well, Josh, anything last things you want to say about Pyra and Mythra? Cool. I'm about the same. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back, and then we're gonna talk about the 11.0 balance changes, the patch notes that came out. So thanks for listening this far, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, guys. We're gonna go ahead and get into the 11.0 balance changes. The patch notes that came out. There's some big fighter adjustments this time. I mean, honestly, this is probably one of the bigger patches to come out in Smash Ultimate's lifespan. So we're gonna go ahead and just go down each fighter that had a change. And we're gonna just do our quick thoughts. So I'll go ahead and start us off. So first things up, Link. Now this was something. This is not a valuable change. I guess it's to match the vulnerability with other fighters when falling in place. So certain characters, first obviously Link, Jigglypuff, Zelda, and a few other. There's I think maybe 10 to 15 other characters got these changed, where they're basically just changing something about the way they fall to change the ending lag. I believe that's what that was about. But for if you play one of these characters that had this quote unquote change, don't worry about it. It's not going to affect you pretty much at all. You for the most part will never notice it. So next up, because this is and this obviously goes in list of where they are on the roster, but next up is Captain Falcon with his up special change.
Right.
Ganondorf received the exact same change, and I think this is massive. This is probably, if Captain Falcon wasn't high tier.
I think beforehand
think he is now.
I'd put him in high tier. Some people are thinking, some people are even thinking top tier now because of this change. To me, I think he's a definite high top, not high top tier, high tier. High tier.
Yeah,
That's the official term.
high tier. Essentially, what this was, it reduced the vulnerability after hitting an opponent after using their up special. So essentially, if you think about it, Captain Falcon will do an up B, and you'll latch onto your opponent, but after that, you have roughly before patch, you had roughly about 20 frames where you couldn't do anything, and that often led to Captain Falcon SDing, getting punished. I believe it was called tech checking, and it was like it was his number one problem with the character, being the fact that up B was just bad. It didn't. I mean, they didn't change the length that it goes, but at least what this change did is speed up. I believe they reduced the frames. I think it's like maybe 8 frames, something like that. Josh, your thoughts on what this does for him?
To be free when recovering, because for the longest time, he even when other Smash Brothers players and top players are talking about him, or when they just want an example for a character that has a bad recovery that is easily gimpable in tournaments, they go Captain Falcon. So this is I'm pretending I have a tie and I'm tightening it up, pushing it up. This is the most groundbreaking thing that's ever happened to Captain Falcon in the history of Smash Brothers. So because it just changes how much he gets bullied, and now he doesn't get bullied, and he shouldn't feel like he needs to be bullied because he looks like a beast as far as muscles go. So I think this is a necessary change, and people love Captain Falcon, so they won't stop playing him. So I think giving the people what they wanted was a really good choice.
I am currently trying to figure out what the frame
people that care
changes were to his up B, and I for the people that care, ultimate frame data. I'm not sure if they have updated. I don't think they've updated the yet. So
there's people you can watch to find that.
It might be something we talk about in another episode, but yeah, go. We recommend watching some of the more prominent YouTubers if you want to find stuff like that out. Okay, on to the next one. Jigglypuff, Zelda, they got the same matching the vulnerability with other fighters and falling in place. We're have fun with it. If you notice it, good for you. Okay, big changes. Pichu. His F smash decreased the amount of damage taken when using the move. Neutral air made the ears invincible during the attack's high damage window. Forward air decreased the amount of damage taken when using the move. Forward throw decreased the amount of damage taken when using the move. Side special decreased the amount of the damage. Okay, so side special, up special, all reduced damage that's taken when using it. Because obviously, Pichu takes damage when he's using his electric attacks. Yeah. And this is big because, a while back, earlier on in the game's history.
And the character, was great. Yeah.
They gutted this character. It went from Pichu being probably the best character in the game. The best character, it went from being the best character in the game to, honestly, mid-tier. At best. Because the character was so good at its insane glass cannon mechanic, where it would do so much damage to you. I mean, so much damage to you for very little amount of hits. And in his the big disadvantage to him was the fact that
and he also does damage to himself, which doesn't help the situation.
But I mean, when he was at his prime,
the
amount of damage output that it made up for the weakness to the point where it was so substantial that it made him busted. So these changes, I feel, bring him a little. He's not going to be a top tier character. I don't even think he's a high tier character at this point. But I think he's an overall much more solid character. They fixed a lot of things, and I think the neutral air change is pretty big because he was trading a lot with his neutral air, and Pichu just can't trade. Like you just he's always going to be at a disadvantage when he trades. So comparatively, they obviously needed to change the neutral air. I think the neutral air buffs are probably the biggest thing to happen to him. But I mean, overall in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if
sigh of relief
buffs for him, but for Pichu players, I think you guys are gonna like it.
Probably nothing more, than what you already said. I'm not exactly sure how much less damage, but based on the reaction from everybody else, it's not but so much, and it's not gonna be super substantial, but it's going. Like I said, it's going to give people more of a sigh of relief for the people that play Pichu.
I'll say this: if you want to know more about these buffs and nerfs from the 11.0 patch, we're going to link in the show notes below. Beefy Smash Dudes did a whole comparison from 10.0 to 11.0, and it's great. It gives you tons of information. We recommend checking it out. It'll be below. We're going to actually, anything we talk about today will all be linked below in the show notes. So next up, Ganondorf. Same thing happened to him as same buff as Captain Falcon. Now, Josh, they're Captain Falcon and Ganondorf. While being clones, essentially, they're very they're similar and different in a lot of ways. What do you think?
Well, for one thing, I think
this buff does to him
increases how well he can recover, because he might have arguably had the worst recovery in the game. So I think with a similar change, he can get to the stage a lot easily. Not as well as Captain Falcon if we're trying to just compare the two of them, but he's still going to have a hard time recovering. But at least he can recover more consistently, and at least he can do some damage in neutral maybe with this. But primarily, I'm looking at the recovery because he was just bad. I mean, he's still bad. He's still pretty bad, but the recovery situation is going to help a lot of Ganondorf players. Hopefully there's not too many Ganondorf mains out there. If there are, I apologize to you guys. I feel bad. Hopefully you have them as at least a secondary or a pocket, not a main.
Get a new main.
Do you agree with me, Evan?
Yeah, I fairly agree with that statement. The character is just, it's too slow, but I think this buff changes. I think this buff maybe knocks him up a couple placements, but not enough to be substantial. And this character is going to need a lot of changes to be able to be a fantastic character. And I think it just comes down to he's too slow. He's too slow. His recovery is let's just say his recovery is better now. He can't get tech checked. It's overall, a much better experience recovering because the character has can do so much sauce off stage, but it's done. It's I'll say unwise to go for it.
Yeah,
considering you're likely to die for it, because of the
There's Ganondorf.
unviability of his
Good for you guys.
special. So yeah, I mean, cool, good for Ganondorfs. Good for Ganondorfs. ZSS, neutral air attack. Increase the vulnerability when landing after using this move. Up special, decrease the attack speed. These are nerfs. These are the first nerfs we're receiving from this patch. ZSS, considered to be a absolute top tier and maybe top 3 at the game at one point. I mean, overall, just great character. I will say this. So, okay, and we should explain. Neutral air, basically, the move is just slower after landing. Like, if you use it in the air and land, you will have a couple extra frames. Up special, basically, there's just some the speed of the move is just overall slower, and your start. I think your startup frames are a little slower.
Yeah,
but
I think initially, looking at it, you were like, "Oh, she's going to drop an entire tier," but it's just like I said before. In tournaments at top level play, ZSS is good because you can just stay calm because your combos are going to work. It's very consistent. So this is just going to make her a little bit less consistent, but still consistent. Still a good character. Oh yeah, 100%.
This character still can win a tournament. The viability of it is very so high, and I really do think there's no reason to.
It's a bummer.
Like if you're a ZSS,
but I don't think too many people are actually dropping.
Sorry,
Zero Suit,
but you'll be fine,
or just not at all.
No, I don't think so either. Now, you guys want to talk about a character that is absolutely getting dropped by plenty of people, I'm sure. Wario, up tilt attack, decrease the amount of time the hit detection lasts. Down special, decrease attack speed for the third charge, decrease attack speed of the max charge. Basically, they gutted Wario's win condition. Because if you think about it, Waft...
And it was stupidly easy to just come back.
Basically, when you're playing... Because when you're playing Wario, even if you have 3 stocks, you're automatically at 2. Because you have, by the third stock, by the time he's on his, your Wario's on his last stock, you have probably fully charged Waft, and you're just up tilt, down B, dead, done. It's like just a little bit weaker than hitting a 9 hammer, essentially, off of Game & Watch. Like, I mean, it's like
you are
you're pretty much guaranteed a kill with Waft most of the time. So these nerfs,
it still works.
Just doesn't work the same anymore. It lasts.
Yeah.
But the hitbox lasts way less time. Like, I mean, it's like a significant amount of time that it is not out, and down B is just like a couple frames slower to the point where up tilt down B or up tilt Waft is not true anymore, and that's big. That's big. Tweek dropped this character over a year ago. What he said, he in his more recent podcast.
I remember them mentioning in that podcast that Japan was scared of Wario all the time because a lot of people played Wario. So I think this is I guess it's a necessary nerf, especially since these decisions are coming from Japan. So. Maybe.
Yeah, I do. Do I think these nerfs drop him a tier? No, I don't think he's gonna be. I don't think he's a high tier character anymore. But I think he's very top, maybe even tier? Bottom high tier. But he's top tier still. But I think. bottom, top tier, high tier. Sorry, that's what I meant if I didn't say that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think
make them work
it's
a
just
little
gonna
harder.
make Wario's be more precise. You have to
might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, which might not be a bad thing. Okay, that's enough of the stinky Wario man.
Now,
Diddy Kong,
Evan,
down special, increase the amount of time you can
you play Diddy
throw
Kong,
another banana
but
peel after throwing.
I don't think you've done
after
an infinite
one
like that. So does this affect you?
I'll just go ahead and tell you, we don't need to spend time on this. This is useless. It did nothing. It did one thing. Basically, a couple patches ago, they removed Diddy's infinite, and he had a very easy infinite he could do on a platform that was used in a tournament, and it was huge, and it's very good. And Nintendo has made it very clear they do not like infinites, so they snapped that right out of existence. And then they found another infinite that was way more. I mean, it's very difficult and it's not practical. And then they found it, and of course, Nintendo Thanos snapped that one right out of existence. So that's all it is. Nothing special. Okay, the DDD player himself is going to have to tell you all about this. King DDD side special, reduced vulnerability, increase the chance that the Gordo will get stuck on the wall, increase the speed you can hit Gordo's back. That were
doesn't do all that much at all. However, whenever Gordo's got stuck to this stage, whenever you hit back Gordo's that the opponent tried to hit back at you, a lot of the times it was done by accident. So this makes it actually slightly more of a strategy to like purposely put a Gordo on the wall, since it can the chance of it getting stuck is a lot higher. And so
I mean, it was like 1 out of 5 times.
You probably won't want to go for getting the Gordo, like purposely get out of your edge guarding situation and just, it's very situational. And I think hitting back the Gordos that were reflected is probably a little bit more substantial than getting stuck in the wall. But overall, it just gives DDD players another option they can go for in situational situations. No. So you get a little bit more options.
And DDDs they don't have a lot of options, like most time. It's nice. It's nice. I know for me as a plant main, this sucks because I like to ride the stage pretty hard to recover. I have to mix it up often because my
so I know what to use against
you. And telegraphed, and it's very edge guardable. But the side B on stage doesn't allow me to.
Well, it's not going to happen, but so much. But
so that's a.
It's nice.
It's not huge, but yeah, it's not huge, but it's nice. Like, cool. Okay. Rob and Villager got the same reduced vulnerability when falling in place. Yeah. I don't even think it's a buff or a nerf. It's like just a quality of life thing. Little Mac up smash attack. Increase the amount of time
a lot of people like to spam this one.
Cool.
And when I say a lot of people, I mean everybody that plays Little Mac. So good for you guys. All 5 of you.
All 5 of you. I mean, I shouldn't be talking. I play plant. There's 3 of us. Me Brawler, Meat Sword Fighter. Same thing with the vulnerability when falling change. Me Gunner did get the side smash attack, get increased range. Also the same vulnerability when falling in place change.
Yeah.
The side smash
but
thing,
I'm not sure if
I don't know why
it increased.
It was already a really long
substantially
move.
That much, but
kind of annoying. Sure. Why?
Again, gives all you guys more reasons to spam it.
Cool. Which is sad, but I mean, there's not many of them, so it doesn't really affect us too bad. Okay, here's something big, big-ish. Palutena, dash grab, increase vulnerability. Forward air, increase the vulnerability when landing after using the move, and then the grab, decrease the grab range of the normal grab. So, the dash grab, the dash attack sucks because for Palutena players, not for people who play against Palutenas, but the dash grab for Palutena players sucks because that was a very good move. The fair, I honestly, from what I've heard from other Palutena players, not noticeable. The grab, this I think is the biggest one out of all of these. The grab is about 2/3 of the size that it used to be. And Palutena's grab was like borderline Marth melee grab.
Yeah, this needs to happen.
Like it was bad.
Exactly.
It was a very good grab. Like it was honestly like
once you get grabbed
and she
by
has
her,
so many combos into it.
Pretty much a tether grab. You exactly. You get combo. That's all there is to it.
Acts like a normal grab, but almost feels like a tether grab. Cool.
Just like Wario,
I don't think this drops her. I don't
even though Wario got hurt more.
I mean, I think it makes her maybe a little bit. It makes her obviously
players
worse, not by much.
Yeah, they deserve to be a little bit more precise.
I think it just makes them more precise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they win for free too much, and Palutena's already gotten nerfs previous patches, so the character I don't think these are too big, but I guess it is what it is. Shulk, Isabel, vulnerability when falling, same thing. Ignore that. Joker, okay. These are quote-unquote nerfs. These honestly do nothing. Side special, increase the vulnerability of Iha. Basically, side special has some more lag. Cool. That Iha, yeah, that's what it's called. Doesn't matter. Just put that out there. Like it will not change where Joker sits, and it does not change their gameplay at all. Down special, increase the vulnerability when arson is present and a counter is not triggered. So if they counter and they don't get the hit, they have more lag. Doesn't change much. Just put it that way. Like I know MK Leo said, yeah, this is sure. Okay, cool. Like probably like it makes me 0.2% worse. I don't ever miss is what MK Leo said. But okay. Hero, Banjo, vulnerability changes. Byleth. We're approaching the end of this 11.0 changes. Byleth, down smash attack, extended launch distance, down air, extended launch distance, increase power against shield. Side special, increase the opponent's downtime when shielding from the tip, reduce vulnerability when using the move in the air. Up special, extended launch distance when stepping on an opponent with high damage, increased attack speed, and then other, they match the vulnerability when falling in place. So these are pretty good buffs for Byleth. Byleth obviously was one of the not higher placed DLC to come out. And yeah, I mean down air. Yeah. Down air was a threat, but slow as heck. Like you don't get hit by it unless it's a hard read move. I know. Opinion. And the extended launch distance, great. Now it kills faster. That probably you get rewarded for hitting it more, which is kind of like it's like I'm neutral on it. Like it's like, hey, good for them, but also don't look forward to getting hit by it. But down smash. I mean, that needed to happen. That move was way too underpowered for how beefy it felt.
But yeah, so why not get a stock faster for that.
Like a club.
And yeah, a lot of these, but Byleth can be pretty slow. So why? Yeah, but like,
this didn't change her airspeed or her
now she's just
walking speed.
He or she is just can kill a lot better. You get rewarded for actually hitting somebody.
I think the big thing that's cool is the up special. The up special change. Did you hear about that? It's basically now her. It's tied with her Nair for best out of shield option. And her Nair is like really good. Her Nair is very.
That's a good change.
Palutena Nair, and so that's good. Like I think that's great because at low percents, I believe. I'm sorry, at high percents, you can up B, and then it spikes them down, and it shoots you up, and I think you can like get an up air and a kill from there. So like I think it'll combo. It'll for the most part. I think
you gotta wait and see.
Does this change much for
significant in a way?
I think we gotta wait and see. I don't think there's much to say. MK Leo's obviously like. Yeah, MK Leo's doing a lot.
Maybe online it is,
come back to real offline tournaments. I don't know if this is going to be a big change. Like I don't know. Like I don't think he's going to be playing. Yeah. Okay, Min air dodge. Match the vulnerability with other fighters when performing an air dodge. Side smash attack. Shorten the amount of time you can charge a smash attack. Side smash attack as well. Reduce the.
I'll tell you right now,
Dragon's laser when using the dragon arm, and then match the vulnerability.
This doesn't change much. And Josh, it totally makes sense. If you have,
give me thoughts.
You can forward smash from across the stage, then you shouldn't be able to charge it up, and so that you can fully, wreck somebody. So if you're charging up like a full-blown powerful smash attack, but as well you can hit from the other side of the stage, that's a little weird. So it's not going to change much because nobody's holding it down for that long. But if I think this is how it went down. They were talking, what should the balance changes be, and someone pointed out, hey, you can you can hold that dragon thing down really long, and they're like, oh. Yeah, so
you get the laser.
Doesn't
the laser
change much at all. It's just that they took out something that
the whole stage instant change
was unnecessary. Yeah, just shouldn't have been there.
Probably should have never been there.
Oh yeah, she already had a good air dodge.
Is bigger than this smash attack change is the air dodge, because essentially, her air dodge actually had less ending lag, and I believe I might be wrong on this, but from what I heard through people, is that Min's air dodge had less ending lag, I believe, than all the other fighters. And I believe majority of fighters in this game have the same vulnerability when air dodging. And so she, for whatever reason, had, less. And they just matched it. So it makes her worse off stage. Like Min was bad off stage.
Not a big deal.
Now she's worse.
As far as how much it changes Min.
Not a big deal, in my opinion.
Why? Why?
Steve and Alex down smash attack. They increase the attack range. Okay, I have not been able to find that this actually, I haven't been able to. Because I should also mention, I probably potentially maybe even my third best character. This is something I should mention is Steve, and but down smash. I can't notice it. I don't know.
But still, why?
Unimportant.
Why would you do that?
I'll say. Sephiroth down special. They just made the sparkles, as I call it,
hit
easier.
They
connect better. So, cool
for them.
Sephiroth. But cool for Sephiroth. I appreciate it. Appreciate the Steve and Alex. Yeah. So overall, this is a great.
It's been a while since
patch.
they've actually nerfed some people.
And yeah, like Sephiroth's, the one that came with Sephiroth was pretty uneventful, not exciting. So yeah, cool. I'm waiting for them to murder the rat, murder the RC.
Yeah, okay. The rat didn't get anything, which is a little surprising. I think Nintendo likes Pikachu.
I know, and the kid of my.
Yeah,
it's probably Game Freak that wants it. I'm
trying to imagine Nintendo or Sakurai or somebody showing Game Freak, hey, this is what you call Pika loops, is what they did. They show them, they're like, hey, do you want to nerf this? And they're like, no. Keep it.
Mm-hmm. I definitely am ready for some plants.
Yeah,
and more plant buffs.
I think back, even though a lot of people loved this patch, the 8.0 patch was still my favorite because they buffed a lot of low tiers. That's where they kind of buffed plant. That's where they buffed deity. And now I think Wii Fit is probably high tier now.
Buffed Wii Fit. Oh, we should talk about this. They shadow buffed Wii Fitness in this patch, and they didn't put it in the notes. So they basically removed how many frames of ending lag or something off of side B, crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
It's some they took 5 or 6 frames off of side B, I think.
It is,
and it was it's
noticeable. It's noticeable because
Josh, you say it's
you get more combos. Wii Fit probably needed a little bit more combos. So even though I'm fully aware, people wouldn't like combos based off of the toxic move that is side B, side special for Wii Fit. It's pretty substantial, not insane, but she probably bumped up a few spots on some of the tier lists out there. More options.
I think it just gives her more options. I believe there was one other shadow buff this patch, but I'm not sure who it was. I can't quite remember. So if we do happen to figure it out, maybe it's big enough, we'll talk about it next episode. But I don't believe it was. So that is the 11.0 balance changes. That's our thoughts. I hope you guys have enjoyed our thoughts on those. Josh, last words, anything you want to say?
No.
Perfect. Okay. Let's. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. So just to recap of what we talked about today. One, we introduced ourselves.
Yep.
Once again, my name's Evan. I'm with Josh, my co-host. Yep, Josh. We're looking forward to making tons of episodes of this awesome idea we feel that we have. We talked about our mains. I'm a plant main. He's a Wii Fit main. Then we got into our discussion on Pyra and Mythra and our thoughts on where those characters sit on a tier list. And then the 11.0 balance changes, the massive buffs and nerfs that came with this patch. So we've enjoyed discussing with you guys today, and we hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and look forward to hearing our next one. We believe we're gonna have another episode out next week. We're still figuring it out. I think it's gonna be every week.
If there's
or every
nothing really
week
going on, it's gonna be every other
podcast.
Week.
And then you guys
if there's something going on, like E3 or something.
Yeah, if there's not much happening,
a little bit.
I don't
know.
Also, feel free to leave if you're watching us on YouTube. Please let us know in the comments below on things you want us to discuss, certain aspects of the game that you want us to run through and give our thoughts on. And if you're also listening to us on any of the podcast services that you listen on, give us a review below, and we look forward to it. Give us your thoughts as well on what you'd like us to discuss. If you'd like to follow us and stay up to date with what we've got going on, check our Twitter out, and it'll be in the show notes below. It's called the Smash Zone Podcast, and we look forward to seeing you guys.
Yep.
And that's everything for today. Josh, last words? Perfect. That's all that needs to be said. Thank you guys for listening.